75 miles north of Gebel El Silsila is Luxor, one of the richest archaeological sites in the world, home to magnificent temples of the pharaohs, the tombs of the nobles, and the great Valley of the Kings. Here, in the foothills of the famous valley, at the necropolis of Asasif, a team of archaeologists from Spain works to solve an ancient mummy mystery. The site is unusual because of the sheer number of ancient artifacts and the level of devastation.
When we first started, the debris arrived like around here, more or less, so you can see how much we've worked already.
Archaeologist Veronica Garcia Martinez is tasked with piecing together the thousands of shards and fragments the team has found here.
We found more than 10,000 items so far, so there's lots of work to be done here.
And amongst the debris, there's something much more grisly.
We found the mummies all over, everywhere.
The mummies that Veronica and her colleague Alberto are investigating are in a very bad state.
These remains, they were removed of their tombs, and they were smashed by plunders.
Just like at John and Maria's site, these mummies were looted by thieves looking for precious jewels and amulets. And again, the bodies have been mutilated to avoid inciting the curse of the dead. But here, the robbers were very particular in their desecration.
The plunderers frequently cut off the head, the hands, and the legs.
By dismembering the corpses like this, the looters hope to deny the dead of all possible means of enacting their revenge in the next life.
They smashed the feet so he couldn't go after them. They cut their hands so he couldn't, strangle them. And as well, they smashed their mouth so they couldn't say, this was the person that did this to me.
So far, the team has found more than 350 mummies here. Now they want to know, why were so many people buried in this one spot? They think the answer could be connected to this site's original purpose, as a tomb complex for a man named Hui, vizier to King Amenhotep III, who ruled from 1390 BC. The vizier was a very powerful position in ancient Egypt, second in command only to the pharaoh himself.
The vizier were the people organizing all the administration. I mean, the courts, I mean, the army, I mean, the royal palace. It's possible to say he was even the voice of the pharaoh.
Professor Francisco Martin Valentin works at the heart of the burial ground. The once magnificent tomb chapel that Hui himself spent years designing and building in preparation for his death.
In this south part of the chapel, we have 15 columns. When we arrived here, no one of them were standing.
When Francisco began his restoration work 11 years ago, the chapel was in ruins. Now he's hoping that clues in the stone wall inscriptions could help solve the mystery of the mummies.
And we can imagine how this tomb, if finished, will be wonderful, one of the best in all Egypt.
As Francisco puts the pieces of this stone puzzle together, it's clear that this tomb has not just been weathered by time, it has been systematically vandalized. All inscriptions depicting the tomb's owner have been mutilated. He thinks the damage here is not down to looters looking for treasure, but someone much closer to Hui. Hui was vizier during the reign of both Amenhotep III and his successor Amenhotep IV. Amenhotep IV, in an attempt to cement his power, soon abolished the worship of traditional gods in favor of just one, the Aten, and changed his name to Akhenaten. Refusing to follow his heretic king, Hui added inscriptions inside his own tomb declaring loyalty to the old gods. When Akhenaten found out, he ordered the destruction of Hui's tomb chapel. The vizier Hui was never seen again, and his mummy has never been found. It seems that Hui was murdered for his beliefs by order of the pharaoh, and by destroying his name and likenesses, his Ren, the killers ensured that he would never be able to pass peacefully into the afterlife. But amongst the rubble, the team has found a very special fragment, a rare image of the vizier's face.
We will replace the first time the face of the vizier in this part to show how was the original decoration.
By reinstalling this piece to its original position in the wall inscription, Francisco hopes to right the wrongs of these ancient vandals, giving Hui back his Ren and, in theory, his place in eternity.